Dear students, now we are going to see the carboxylic acids. In this carboxylic acid, we are going to see the chemical properties. First property here is decarboxylation. What is D? Removal of, what is that? Carboxylation, carboxyl group. So decarboxylation, removal of carbon dioxide from the carboxyl group. So the carboxylic acid loses carbon dioxide to form a hydrocarbon. That means any carboxylic acid which loses the carbon dioxide means it has a tendency to form a hydrocarbon. Now we are going to take the sodium salt of carboxylic acid. What is that sodium salt of carboxylic acid? That is, if you remove any acid in acid group, if you remove any hydrogen, instead of we have to add a sodium. So that is sodium salt of carboxylic acid. Heated with a soda lime. What is the reagent for decarboxylation? The reagent here is soda lime. What is that soda lime? Soda lime is a mixture of NaOH and CaO. What is that NaOH? Sodium hydroxide. What is CaO? Calcium oxide. So NaOH is taken in 3 parts and CaO is taken in 1 part. So what is the reagent for decarboxylation? Soda lime. Reagent for decarboxylation is soda lime. So now we are going to see the reaction. We take a sodium salt of carboxylic acid, no? Sodium salt of, what is this? Acetic acid. If you put a hydrogen instead of Na means it is called acetic acid. If you remove a hydrogen from carboxyl group of any acid, it is called ate. Here it is acetate. What is here? Sodium. So it is called sodium acetate. And it is treated with a soda lime. Heated with soda lime. Soda lime is nothing but NaOH and CaO. CaO does not involve in the reaction which is used for flux. NaOH involved in the reaction. How this NaOH involved in the reaction? With the removal of Na2CO3. So Na2CO3 goes out and we get methane. So our main product is methane with the removal of sodium carbonate. The next we are going to see is Kolb's electrolytic decarboxylation. Kolb's electrolytic decarboxylation. This is also decarboxylation, but first one we see with the reagent that is soda lime. Here it is nothing but electrolysis. So here also we are going to take the sodium or potassium salt of carboxylic acid. On electrolysis, we are not going to add any reagent, that is here only electrolysis. Here also the product is alkane. Decarboxylation gives a alkane. It is nothing but a hydrocarbon which is liberated at the anode. During electrolysis, what is electrolysis? We need cathode, anode, electrolyte, that's all. So the product obtained as a hydrocarbon is deposited at the anode. This type of reaction is called as a Kolb's electrolysis. Here we didn't need any reagent like soda lime, but here only electrolysis takes place. Here also the same acetate, sodium acetate on electrolysis. What happens? How this reaction takes place? The bond breaks between the CH3 and CO. So this bond comes and formed here. This bond goes out and we get ethane. This is the removal of 2CO2 and this is the formation of 2Na. So we get to CH3 bond CH3, that is ethane, carbon dioxide and sodium. This ethane and sodium carbon dioxide are liberated at the anode and the sodium is liberated at the cathode. So sodium acetate on electrolysis gives ethane. That means sodium acetate on soda lime gives methane. Here sodium acetate on electrolysis gives ethane. Similarly, we are going to see the sodium formate. What happens when sodium formate on electrolysis? Sodium formate formula is HCOONA. HCOONA on electrolysis. What happens? Bond break between the hydrogen and carbon. So this bond comes here with the removal of hydrogen. This CO2 goes out, 2 molecules, here 2 Na goes out. So we get H2 which is liberated at the anode with the carbon dioxide and this is sodium. So this is the Kolb's electrolytic decarboxylation. Kolb's electrolytic decarboxylation. The next we are going to see is reactions with NH3, reactions with ammonia, reaction with ammonia. That is carboxylic acid react with ammonia to form, carboxylic acid react with ammonia to form ammonium salt. So reaction with ammonia means acid has a tendency to give ammonium, which on further heating it gives amide. So by any acid react with ammonia gives ammonium. On further heating, it gives amide. It gives amide. So first one, acetic acid, CH3COOH. Next, ammonia. How this reaction takes place? See, acid which has a tendency to give H plus ions, no? Nitrogen have lone pair. So it has a tendency to accept this H plus and form ammonium salt. Ammonium salt. Why here we put plus sign for nitrogen? Since it loses its lone pair electron, that is its own electron, so nitrogen carries the plus sign. CH3, C double bond O, O minus NH4 plus. This is acetate and this is ammonium. So it is called as ammonium acetate. It is called as ammonium acetate. And further on heating, what happens on heating? It loses the water molecules H2 from ammonium and oxygen goes out and forms a amide. CONH2 is called amide. It comes from acetic acid, so it is called acetamide. So reaction with ammonia. First it forms the ammonium salt. Further on heating, it loses the water molecules to form a amide. This is a stable compound. And then action of heat in the presence of P2O5. Action of heat in the presence of P2O5. P2O5 is nothing but a dehydrating agent. P2O5 is nothing but a dehydrating agent. What is dehydration? Dehydration means removal of water. H2O. And dehydrating, what are the other dehydrating agent? Powerful dehydrating agent is P2O5 in the presence of and also concentrated sulfuric acid. Dehydration, there are two types of dehydration. Intermolecular dehydration, and it is between 2 moles. Intermolecular dehydration is between 2 molecules. And within the molecule, here we are going to take acetic acid, so it undergoes intermolecular between 2 molecules of acetic acid. So water molecule goes out and a bond formed between the 2 carbonyl group as O, and this is called as acetic anhydride. Anhydride is nothing but COO. This is anhydride. So acetic anhydride. Dehydration. So water molecule gets removed. Dehydration. So water molecule get removed. So we are going to see the action of heat in the presence of P2O5. P2O5 is nothing but a dehydrating agent which has a tendency to remove the water molecule. So acetic acid P2O5 removes the water molecules and form acetic anhydride. Anhydride. What is called anhydride? Anhydride is nothing but compound obtained after the removal of water. That is compound obtained after the removal of water. Anhydride is compound obtained after the removal of water. And the next we are going to see the substitution reaction. Substitution, you have to remove any group and in that place you have to substitute the another one. So substitution reaction in the hydrocarbon. Substitution reaction in the hydrocarbon part, that is alpha halogenation. Alpha halogenation. That means HVZ reaction. Example for alpha halogenation is HVZ reaction. What is that HVZ represent? HVZ represents the Hell-Wolford-Zelinsky reaction. HVZ represents the Hell-Wolford-Zelinsky reaction. And the carboxylic acid having alpha hydrogen. What is alpha hydrogen? That is the next to the functional group. That is carbon next to the functional group is called alpha position, alpha carbon, or halogenated at the alpha position in the treatment of chlorine or bromine. In the presence of red phosphorus, chlorine, red phosphorus. That is chlorine and red phosphorus. Product obtained here is alpha halo carboxylic acid. So what is Hell-Wolford-Zelinsky reaction or HVZ reaction? In this reaction, halogenation takes place at which position? Alpha position. What is alpha position? That is carbon next to the functional group is called alpha carbon. What is the reagent for HVZ reaction? Halogen in the presence of red phosphorus. What may be the product obtained here? It is alpha halo carboxylic acid. Product is alpha halo carboxylic acid, alpha halo carboxylic acid. And the next we are going to see the reaction, how the reaction takes place. First one is acetic acid. Here we are going to take the acetic acid. Halogenation, halogen in the presence of red phosphorus, aqueous, that is acetic acid. Here in alpha hydrogen only the reaction takes place. No, this is a acid functional group. Next to the functional group, this carbon. So this hydrogen is called alpha hydrogen. One of the alpha hydrogen react with the Cl to form a HCl, it goes out. So in that hydrogen position, Cl comes here. So CH2, Cl, COOH. It is nothing but the monochloroacetic acid. What is the name of this one? Monochloroacetic acid. Monochloroacetic acid. And the next we are going to see is electrophilic substitution in aromatic carboxylic acid. Aromatic, we must have a benzene ring in a compound. Aromatic means we must have a benzene ring in the compound. So aromatic carboxylic acid undergoes electrophilic substitution. What is that electrophilic substitution reaction? Electrophilic, that means one of the electrophile come and attack the benzene ring. Electrophilic, one of the electrophile. What is electrophile? Plus sign. What is electrophile? Plus. What is electrophile? Plus. NO2 plus, Cl plus, SO3H plus. So one of the electrophile come and attack the benzene ring. So we are going to see the electrophilic substitution reaction. Before going to see the electrophilic substitution reaction, if any atom or groups is attached to the benzene ring means, what is a benzene? Carboxylic acid we studied, no? In this carboxyl acid, which group attached to the benzene ring? Carboxyl group attached to the benzene ring. So in a carboxylic acid, which group is attached to the benzene ring? Carboxyl, that is bond COOH. And this group is deactivate the benzene ring and it is meta-directing. This group has a tendency to deactivate the benzene ring. That means it decreases the reactivity. And meta-directing. Why it decreases or deactivate the benzene ring? Why? Because this COO group is electron withdrawing group. COO group is a electron withdrawing group. Electron withdrawing. What is electron withdrawing? That means it has a tendency to accept the electron. It has a tendency to accept the electron. Any group which has a tendency to accept the electron means it is electron withdrawing group. So it has a tendency to accept the electron from the benzene ring. From the benzene ring. What are the group? Here it is carbonyl carbon attached to the benzene ring is electron deficient. Always electron deficient. Example for that one is aldehyde, ketone or acid. Aldehyde, ketone or acid. Or the deactivating and meta-directing. All the deactivating groups are meta-directing in nature. All the deactivating groups are meta-directing in nature. So now we are going to see the halogenation. Now we are going to see the first example for electrophilic substitution reaction is halogenation. Name itself we can understand. Addition of halogen. We are going to see the addition of halogen to the benzene ring. Addition of halogen to the benzene ring. So this is carboxylic acid. 1, 2, 3. The substituent here is a COOH group is our functional group. So this is carbon is a first carbon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these corners have one hydrogen. Since it is meta-directing. Meta. What is meta? 1, 2 position is ortho. 1, 3 is meta and 1, 4 is para. Now we are going to see the benzoic acid. This carboxylic acid is a meta-directing, we already mentioned. Meta position means 1, 3 position is meta. So here 1, 2, 3. In this position, all the corner we have one hydrogen, no? This hydrogen react with, here it is bromination. This halogenation takes place only in the presence of Lewis acid. It reacts only in the presence of Lewis acid. That is ferric. If it is chlorination means ferric chloride. Bromination, so it is ferric bromide. HBr goes out. Br added here. What is the name of this compound obtained? Metabromobenzoic acid. Metabromobenzoic acid. And meta can also be written as 1,3. This position is 1,3 or 3-bromobenzoic acid. 3-bromobenzoic acid or metabromobenzoic acid. So halogenation means halogenation, addition of halogen. halogenation takes place only in the presence of Lewis acid. Now it is nitration, means addition of NO2 group. Addition of NO2 group. This is benzoic acid. Nitration must have a nitrating mixture. In bromination we need one Lewis acid for the reaction, no? Here it is nitrating mixture. What is a nitrating mixture? Concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. Concentrated sulfuric acid is a medium. In the acid medium reaction involved, and this is concentrated nitric acid involved in the reaction. Nitric acid can also be written as HONO2. HONO2. This is meta-directing, no? So third carbon carries hydrogen involved in the reaction with OH, and it removes water molecule. It removes the water molecule, and the remaining NO2 group come and attack to the NO2. So nitration means addition of NO2. Nitration means addition of NO2. In which position? Meta position. So its name is meta-nitrobenzoic acid. So its name is meta-nitrobenzoic acid. Halogenation means addition of halogen in the presence of Lewis acid, and here it is nitration in the presence of nitrating mixture. In the presence of nitrating mixture, which group added here? NO2 group is added. Which position? Meta position. Which position? Meta position. And the next we are going to see is sulfonation. Next we are going to see is sulfonation. Halogenation means addition of halogen. Nitration means addition of NO2 group. Now we are going to see is sulfonation. What is that sulfonation? Sulfonation means addition of sulfonic acid. What is that sulfonic acid? It is nothing but SO3H. It is nothing but SO3H. Addition of sulfonic acid is nothing but SO3H. Now we are going to see the benzoic acid as a reactant. Fuming concentrated sulfuric acid is a reagent. Sulfuric acid can also be written as HOSO3H. Sulfuric acid can also be written as HOSO3H. It is meta-directing, no? So meta position hydrogen involved in the reaction with the removal of water. This SO3H go and add this third position. So it is meta-sulfobenzoic acid. Meta-sulfobenzoic acid. So in electrophilic substitution reaction we see three types of reaction. First one is halogenation, nitration, sulfonation. Halogenation means addition of halogen. Sulfonation means addition of SO3H group. Nitration means addition of NO2 group. Addition of NO2 group. Addition of NO2 group. Addition of NO2. So now we are going to see the benzoic acid. Then benzoic acid does not undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction. Why? Important reaction. Why benzoic acid does not undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction? Why? This is due to the strong deactivating nature of carboxyl group. Carboxyl group is a deactivating group, no? So that only takes place in the meta position. So due to the strong deactivating nature of the carboxyl group, it does not undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction. Friedel-Crafts reaction. And then now reducing nature. Important property, chemical property of carboxylic acid is reducing nature of formic acid. Reducing nature of formic acid. Reducing nature. Aldehyde. In the carbonyl compounds we already discussed, no? What is reducing nature of aldehyde? Aldehyde group which has a tendency to reduces the what tendency to reduces what we are to, it has a tendency to reduces which one? Tollens and fillings. Here also we are going to see the reducing nature of formic acid. Aldehyde only has a tendency to reduce, no? Then why formic acid? Since the formic acid contains both the CHO, what is that CHO group? It is aldehyde, and also COOH group. So the only acid which have both the CHO and COOH group, hence like other aldehyde, since it has aldehyde group, since other aldehyde, formic acid also easily oxidized, therefore reducing agent. Then why if it is easily oxidized means it is called as a strong reducing agent? Now we have to recall that. What is a reducing agent? Itself get oxidized and reduces other. Reducing agent is a name, no? It is its work. Reduces other. Itself get oxidized. So reducing agent means it has to reduce other one, itself has to be oxidized. So it is easily oxidized. It is a strong reducing agent. So see that the HCOOH is a formic acid, no? Here we have CHO group, so it is aldehyde. COOH group is also there, carboxylic acid. Both the group is present in formic acid, so it reduces Tollens. Tollens reagent. Important one mark. What is Tollens reagent? Ammoniacal silver nitrate. Ammoniacal silver nitrate. That is ammoniacal in the presence of ammonium hydroxide with the silver nitrate. Ag plus NO3 minus. And 2. It has a tendency to reduce, that is oxidize to metallic silver. Oxidizes to metallic silver. That means Tollens reagent to get reduced. So Tollens reagent Ag plus is reduced to Ag0. So formic acid reduces Tollens reagent to metallic silver. What is Tollens reagent? It is nothing but a ammoniacal silver nitrate. That is ammonium hydroxide with silver nitrate. Since the formic acid has aldehyde group and carboxyl group, it has a tendency to reduces the Tollens reagent to metallic silver. Tollens reagents to metallic silver. So now how this reaction takes place? HCOO minus, HCOO minus. We are going to see the reaction in the ionic form. HCOH is an acid. Acid which has a tendency to give H plus ions, no? So HCOO minus plus 2Ag plus, that is Tollens reagent, plus OH minus gives 2Ag. That means Ag plus is reduced to silver and COO minus is oxidized to CO3 2 minus with the removal of water. Itself get oxidized and this Tollens reagent get reduced. So Tollens reagent is reduced to silver mirror. And it also has a tendency to reduces the Fehling solution. It also has a tendency to reduces the Fehling solution. What is Fehling solution? Can you able to tell me now what is Tollens reagent? That is ammoniacal silver nitrate. Similarly, Fehling solution is nothing but copper sulfate with sodium or potassium tartrate. Sodium or potassium tartrate. It reduces blue cupric ion to red cuprous oxide ion. That is blue cupric to red cuprous. That means HCOO minus Cu2 plus 5OH minus gives Cu2O CO3 2 minus 3H2O. So Cu2 plus cupric is reduced to cuprous Cu plus. This is blue in color and this is red in color. So formic acid, why formic acid? Explain the reducing property of formic acid, or why formic acid has a tendency to reduce Tollens and Fehling solution. Since it has a formic acid has a aldehyde group and carboxyl group, it has a tendency to reduce Tollens and Fehling solution. So now we are going to see the test for carboxylic acid. Test for carboxylic acid. Test how to identify the carboxylic acid. So in organic practical, if a solution is given to you, means you have to find out the carboxylic acid is present or there. How will you find out that? So in aqua solution, carboxylic acid in aqua solution, it has a tendency to turns the blue litmus to red. It has a tendency to turn blue litmus to red. Already we studied in the lower classes, no? And another one test is, it has a tendency to give the brisk effervescence. Brisk effervescence gives the brisk effervescence with sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate. NaHCO3 sodium bicarbonate with the evolution of carbon dioxide. Brisk effervescence is due to the evolution of carbon dioxide. So if we add carboxylic acid to sodium bicarbonate, it gives a brisk effervescence. The brisk effervescence is due to the evolution of carbon dioxide. Brisk effervescence is due to the evolution of carbon dioxide. And the third test is carboxylic acid warmed with alcohol. Carboxylic acid warmed with alcohol in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. Any acid react with alcohol means it has a tendency to form a ester. Any acid react with alcohol means it has a tendency to form a ester. The smell of the ester is fruity odor. From the smell, it is identified that carboxylic acid is present here. From the smell, it is identified the carboxylic acid is present here. What are the three tests for carboxylic acid? First, it turns the blue litmus to red, and it gives brisk effervescence with the sodium bicarbonate. And carboxylic acid react with alcohol. It gives ester. It is identified by its fruity odor.